Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to talk about a topic that is really interesting, and we're going to just discuss about it, have a little discussion about it, and the possibilities. Now, as I am making this video currently on this day, the ban list has not come out yet, alright? So the ban list has not come out yet, and after the OCG ban list dropped, and I saw what all the cards that got hit and limited and things of that nature, that was a month ago, and I watched and saw the reports of what was coming in for decks that were topping the OCG, and I saw that about 20% were actually Blue Eyes White Dragon decks or Blue Eyes White Dragon variations. I was happily surprised, I'll say that first off, and it made me wonder if that is a possibility over here in the TCG in the coming months. That Konami is trying to set it up that Blue Eyes White Dragon in 2016 will be a meta deck, which would be, first off, freaking amazing. And would be just amazingly awesome. But I wonder if it's not just Blue Eyes White Dragon that they're trying to make meta, but as well as Dark Magician. Because since I was a kid, I've always wondered, it's been years since Blue Eyes was played in a really meta deck. I mean, probably the old days, back when the Seto Kaiba structure deck came out. Blue Eyes was originally played for some time as well in competitive variations of spellbooks back in 2013 with Maiden and Wonder Wand, so you could do some combo plays, and that's how I got the Wonder Wand combo plays back in the day with Maiden. But it really hasn't been like a meta-defining deck for quite some time now, and the fact that that is a possibility, and that in the OCG right now that is actually happening, and the fact that yes, the OCG meta is different from the TCG meta, it always will be until the ban lists come together again or something of that nature, but the fact of the matter is that that is a plausible possibility this time, as of right now, is amazing. And granted, it all depends upon two things really. When is the ban list going to come out? What are they going to hit on the ban list? That's one thing. The second thing is, when are we going to get some of these imports from Blue Eyes White Dragon? And what I mean by that is alternative Blue Eyes, Twin Burst Dragon, and mainly those two especially, but maybe the three-headed one. I think it's Blue Eyes Neo Galaxy Dragon, something like that, I believe. Not Neo Galaxy, I'm thinking of something else, but the three-headed one, that's the new updated Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I forget the name off the top of my head. But it mainly depends upon Twin Burst, that card, and Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, especially. When are we getting these cards? We also know now, and the reason I bring this up even is, the fact of the matter is that Konami has pushed back the DD Pendulum structure deck, which I know some of you guys are going to really hate, and I was kind of disappointed in. And they've bumped up the Felgrand structure deck date to April or June, I think it is. This is a good thing for us Blue Eyes players. It sucks for DD players out there, DDD players that want to play their different dimension demon deck, which I actually was looking forward to doing, but sadly Konami said no. That we will be getting, I believe, the Felgrand spell card, which is an amazing. It's like I believe it's pretty much you can reborn a dragon monster, I believe it was, and then you can give it protection by banishing it from the graveyard. It's a good card. It's the Felgrand card. I always call it. I forget the name. I just call it the Felgrand card. And also, Felgrand gives support to dragon type of decks, so there's different variations you can play as beatdowns type of strategies, which I've seen happen in the OCG and why it's topping. So the fact that that's coming over here sooner is a good thing. But still, we have that big question mark: is when are these Blue Eyes Alternative Dragons and stuff coming out? I am hoping and I am praying to the Yugi gods out there that they come out sooner rather than later. But I don't know yet. It depends if Blue Eyes is going to be meta, is if those cards come out sooner. If they come out in January or December at the end of the year, then I am highly suspect that Blue Eyes will not be meta. Dark Magician is in the same boat as Blue Eyes White Dragon. It is a possibility that Konami could be setting up for a Blue Eyes Dark Magician format in 2016. But still, here in the TCG, that's going to be hard to do because we don't have a lot of the Dark Magician import cards yet, especially the one card which you guys all know I'm talking about, if you know the Dark Magician Trap card. We don't have that. Thus, Dark Magician has no chance of being meta till that card gets announced, because it can be a very powerful card, and it's a great card because you can search out Dark Magic attack, Reborn Dark Magician, go for plays. It's very essential to the deck. Don't get me wrong, that I'm not saying that Dark Magician and Blue Eyes will not be good decks without these cards, but to be a competitive deck, they're going to need all the tools and resources available to them, and that's what I'm trying to say here. And they don't have those yet in the TCG, and we don't know when they're going to get them. So because of that reason, I'm sitting here scratching my head. I think in OCG land, though, I think there's a more stronger possibility and likelihood that by May of 2016, Dark Magician and Blue Eyes Red Dragon could be meta type of decks in the OCG land. And that would be freaking amazing. And I'm hoping the same thing happens in the TCG. Granted, I'm going to try to make Blue Eyes Red Dragon as competitive as I can, but there's only so much I can do if Alternative Dragon's not here and whatnot. But in the OCG land, that's a completely different story. So, what are your thoughts, guys, out there? Is my opinion at the end of the day. That's my question to you, and I'm posing to you. Do you think Blue Eyes Red Dragon has a shot, possibly, and Dark Magician even as well, has a shot in 2016 of being meta-defining decks? I mean, this hinges on a couple of things, like I said. The ban list, which is not out yet, as well as when we get these imported cards. In the OCG land, like I said, they have a lot more stronger chance of this happening, because I'm looking at the meta decks, these other archetypes coming out down the road, and I'm like, the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician decks are stronger than those decks. So, it could be interesting. But tell me what you think down below, guys. Do you think it's a possibility of happening in the OCG or TCG that Blue Eyes and Dark Magician could be meta? Blue Eyes is already meta to some degree over in the OCG land, but could that translate over here to the TCG? And could Konami be holding the strings? And, as the Godfather would say, they are holding the strings and we are the puppets that dance for them. Could they be trying to set us up here for 2016 Blue Eyes and Dark Magician meta? Tell me what you think, guys. And until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.